Hi everybody, welcome back to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and in this video we're going to be learning the Hardpoint map rotation. So we're in a local private game, and the way this is going to work is we're going to run the first two map rotations with the Hardpoints, and then we're going to run the next two ahead of the map rotations. So the first Hardpoint, as ever, is in the middle. It's called Centre Building, so we're going to head over there first. It's a bit of a funny map this though, because although it's not actually that big, it's really easy to kind of not really get lost, but to not quite go in the right direction. So this is the first one, you know, in the middle, as you can see there. So, you know, stick your mines down. Yeah, you could kind of get up here if you wanted to. Now, the first hardpoint, don't get too bothered by it if you can't capture it. Now, because what you want to do is you want to set yourself up ready for the next one. Now, the next one is called Stairs Building, which is actually over there. So what you'd want to do, if you can't capture the first hardpoint, get it, because the next hardpoint is up there. See where I am now? So what you want to do is get yourselves over here so that your teammates are spawning with you, so that as soon as this hardpoint pops, you can capture it straight away, and you'll have teammates around you to help you do so. And that's a recurring theme throughout a hardpoint. If you can't capture the hardpoint, get yourself in a situation where you'll capture the next one. So the next one after this one is called Scaffolds Building, which is all the way over in the southwest of the map, the opposite corner. So we'll make our way there in just a second. And the way that hardpoint works is the team that has at least one player on the hardpoint will get about a point a second. You don't get any more points for having more players on. If nobody's on the hardpoint, nobody gets any points. If the two enemy teams are on the hardpoint, then that's contested and nobody gets points either. So it's all about capturing the hardpoint and keeping the hardpoint clear of enemies, and then ordering those points. The really cool thing about hardpoint is that it doesn't rely on gun skills in the way that lots of other modes do. Sure, if you're good at shooting, you know, great, but you can play and be a decisive member of your team. So we're over here now, so we're in an area called Scaffolds Building, southwest. Now the next one is the concrete framework. If you just remember which order the hardpoints are in, or just have a list written down that tells you which order they're in, you can be the difference between winning or losing in a hardpoint. Because all you need to do is you go to the next hardpoint, you capture it, you stay on it for as long as you can, and then, you know, if you get killed, you go on to the next one, and you're constantly getting ahead of the game. And the other cool thing that happens in Hardpoint is it's very so here we are now. So now we're in concrete framework building. We're here. And the next one is the containers area, which is right down in the southeastern area of the map, sort of down that way. The really cool thing is the deficit doesn't really matter. You can be 150 points down in Hardpoint, and you can still pull it back and get a victory, because you can get sort of 60 points per hard point, so you can pull back big deficits, you know, very well. So sometimes you might be in a situation, so off to the containers area now, you might be in a situation where you're thinking there's no way we can do this, we're 100 points behind, you know, a couple of minutes later, and you know, you're 50 points in the lead. So, you know, never give up on Hardpoint, because you know you can really make a difference. So we're in the containers area, so the next change is going to be back to the middle again. So we're gonna kind of go with that. My kind of load up is M4. You've noticed with the thermal scope. The idea of that is that I can look through smoke, you know, when I'm defending or attacking a hard point. I can put smoke down to hide myself and hide my mines, and then I also run an RPG. You can run the pillar as well if you wanted to shoot down score streaks. The idea, let's go around this way this time. The idea of the RPG is that, say you're approaching a hard point and it's already been captured, you know, you would, you know, fire an RPG in Some other stuff. You would fire the RPG and that would damage, if not kill, people. Okay, so we're in the centre building. So as you might remember, the next hard point is the stairs building, which is in the northeast of the map. So it's over in that area. I would, to be honest, if I was in here, I would probably perch myself somewhere up here, like this. There's only 2 ways in.
Hardpoint's moving.
So we go down here. Here as well, can't you? Yeah. Cheeky mine there. Cheeky mine there. Ooh, smoke. Stick the trophy system up there. Now the next one, after this one, is the scaffold building, which is in the southwest. So it's right on the other side of the map, kind of that way.
10 seconds, get ready to move.
Post up there. Again, what you do in Hardpoint is just like in the other game modes. Just look at the mini-map and see where your friends are, and then you know the enemies, unless they're very, very clever, are gonna be, you know, in those gaps where your buddies aren't, because friendlies don't spawn next to enemies. So here we go. So we're moving into the scaffold building now. If you could, yeah, you can get over this wall. In fact, it looks like you can be on this hard point from the top of this wall. Yeah, although you are quite exposed. I wonder if you can. No, you can't get on that. Can't get on that. Nice little wall here. And cheeky mine there. Cheeky mine there. Right, so the next one after this one is the container framework building, which is all the way over there. The direction you take towards the next hard point will depend on where the enemies are. So again, you'd look at your map, look at your mini map, and then go where they're not. You might not be able to see them, but you might well be able to see the red dots of their gunfire. Lots of places to hide here. And what I tend to do is I will stay on a hard point until there's about 20 seconds to go. So the next one is the containers area, which is over in the southeast.
Get to the next one.
There we go. So say this was a hard point. No, I would come over here. I'd put my mines down. I'd set up our trophy system so that rockets couldn't get me. I'd listen out for the enemies. As soon as the enemies, I hear them, I would smoke so they can't see me, but I can see them. And then I would wait until there's 20 seconds to go, like now. And then I'd right, I'm gone. You know, because there's not that many points left. There's more points to be had capturing the next hard point and being ahead of the game than there is. I can't get up on that hard point right until the end. But what will happen is you'll start to get used to some hard points. It's easier to take one after the other. With others you won't. So you'll sometimes be thinking, well, I know we can take the next hard point easily because you know I know it. But sometimes you think the next one's a real pig, so then you'll leave earlier. So now we're going to get ahead of the game. So the next one is the stairs building, which is in the northeast. So we're going to go this way. Go there. We're gonna get there before it pops. Just about. And so the next one after the stairs building is the scaffold building, which is down in the southeast. So we've got this one. So let's go to the next one. Again, you would never really leave this early unless you couldn't capture or you got killed, you know. Say you got killed and there's 30 seconds to go. Remember, hard points normally last a minute. Say you got killed and there's 30 seconds to go. Again, you got to think, well, is it worth me trying to fight my way back onto that hard point? Or should I get myself in a position where my friends are spawning around me, my friendlies spawning around me, we can then capture this hard point, we can get some really good solid points on the board before we move off. Now, when you see pro players play, they're thinking 2 or 3 hard points in advance, you know, and how they're going to do that. And in pro games, they are manipulating the spawns really, really cleverly in order to make that happen. Right, so the next one is the concrete framework building, which is over in the northeast. So let's head there to again stay ahead. The other thing that happens is when you're doing this, when you're getting ahead of the hard points, other players, enemies especially, they get very focused on the hard point. You know, they get a bit blind. They get objective blindness, where they're just blindly charging towards the objective, and they're not expecting somebody back here. But you do have to decide whether you're going to engage or not, because if you do start engaging people,
10 seconds. Get ready to move.
you know, people know you're there, and then they may well come after you, because the most important thing is being ready for the next hard point. So when it pops, you start owning those points, and you can start getting ahead for your team.
Get to the next one.
So after the concrete framework burn, it's the containers, which are all the way down in the southeast of. So let's head down there. And just by running this, if you run this drill a few times, you'll be surprised. All of a sudden the maps will start to make sense, and you'll really know your way around them a lot more. And that will really help you when you're playing domination or team deathmatch or free for all or kill confirmed. Back to the middle.
We're about to move.
There is argument with mines to having, so you're picking that one up, to having two mines together, because if people are running EOD as a perk,
Get to the next one.
right, let's go. One mine won't kill them, but if you have two, that will. Obviously, that limits the amount of the angles that you can defend. Plus, the mines, you may say, why mines over claymores, Rob? Because mines pop up, don't they? People can dive to the ground and avoid them. That's true, but mines are incredibly funny and very, very satisfying. Well, you'll be on a hard point, someone will rush the hard point, they'll kill you, and they'll be like, yeah, we've got the hard point, and then you'll see your mines floating in the air where they popped up, and they'll kill them, and you're like, yeah, you get loads of points for that. So the next one is the stairs building, which is in the northeast. So we're gonna, as soon as this one pops, we're gonna get ahead. One of the other reasons why I will leave a hard point as well is if another teammate comes along and it seems like they know what they're doing, you know, so they're setting up in a defensive location, say on the hard point, you know, they've dropped down a trophy system or something like that, I will then often leave the hard point and either head to the next one, or if there's loads of time, I'll set myself up in between the hard point and where I think the enemies are spawning, and I'll just kill them, you know, as they're trying to get to the hard point. So this one's about to pop. Now after the stairs, it's to the south, the scaffold building, which is in the southwest of the map. So we'll wait for it to pop. We'll go around the long way, actually, I think. Right, so let's go around.
Location secured.
Let's go around the long way. So yeah, I would all say to people, if you're struggling with multiplayer like domination or team deathmatch or free for all, and you're thinking, you know, I want to be the top of the leaderboard, try Hardpoint. It does take a while to sort of learn the maps, and that's why you have access to that document that's in the description down below this video, because it gives you that advantage. But you can end up with three minutes on the hard point, loads and loads of points, maybe not that many kills. You probably get more kills from mines than you will from your gun, but you will be the difference between winning and losing. So after this one, it's to the concrete building, which is in the northeast, well, northish of the map. In public games, and you're up against people who maybe don't know the hard points. Sometimes the games can be too boring. You'll win 250 points to 12 and things like this, and that can be a bit boring. That does happen. So that's why sometimes the games I really enjoy a hard point are the ones where you're up against people who know what they're doing, and it can be super close. There can be so the next one after this one is the containers area, which is in the bottom right. So you know, it can go down literally to the last. It can be 249 versus 250. But I'm not sure if it can be 251 versus 250. But I've had the most amazing games, because you don't tend to get that in domination. You know, quite a lot of the time in domination, maybe with a quarter of the game to go, you know you're either going to win or you're going to lose, because you get to a point where, you know, if you hang on to one flag, you're going to have enough points to get over the thing. But in Hardpoint, if you don't have a Hardpoint, you're not earning any points. So that's where you can get these amazing games. Right, so we're heading back to the middle now, and that is the final rotation. We've done all four. Hopefully that's useful. Hopefully that helps you to learn Hardpoint. I'd definitely tell you to give it a go. You may well have played Hardpoint before and thought it wasn't for you, because Hardpoint is not a fun game to play when you don't know the map rotations. And as I say again, if you look in the description below the video, you'll find the link to the document with the Hardpoint rotations in. Anyway, that's it from me. Hopefully you found that useful, and I'll see you again soon.